Do you do what makes more money, or do you do what makes you happy?
Laura Flynn is a 6th grade teacher at Hodges Elementary. She has a passion for her profession and for helping kids.
That's what I'm saying. That's a very good question.
She has a doctorate's degree, and she has a Teacher of the Year award.
She just naturally had the planning skills and just really wanted to be a go-getter.
It's that intrinsic motivation. I think that she just really instills in them the need for them to want to be better.
I wanted to learn more about math because I was really struggling, so she would pull me into small groups and help me more.
The fees are costless.
Good.
It's hard to believe this Teacher of the Year used to be an accountant.
My great-grandma was 99 years old, and at her funeral they were talking about what they remembered about her and the impact that she had on people's lives. And you know what? If I died today, nobody's going to say she was a great accountant. You know, I didn't make a difference in anybody's life. 30% interest.
Dr. Flynn is in her 13th year as a teacher, all at Hodges, which serves a community that is socioeconomically disadvantaged. That provides additional challenges to the educators at Hodges.
And I want y'all to take a look at some of the fine print.
Teaching it's a very hard career. Then you bring into that mix kiddos that, like I said earlier, might be coming from experiences that have not been necessarily positive.
Anybody can teach them, you know, the arithmetic and the reading and the writing, but it's knowing these kids, it's knowing what's going on. It's the, you know, hierarchy of their needs. And then we're going to break them into our financial groups. They cannot possibly learn a thing if they're worried about, are they going to get beat when they get home? Are they going to have food over the weekend? If you don't have the relationship with them, most of your kids you're not going to make that educational, the academic impact on them. Every once in a while, about once a week, it'll take me an hour or so to get home just because 20 is always backed up.
Dr. Flynn lives in Cedar Hill with her husband, less than 2 miles away from a very nice elementary school.
So I have thought, you know, I'd be able to go home for lunch. It's right here.
But she has no interest in working there.
Y'all know how to do the calculation.
She is exactly where she wants to be and where her students need her to be.
Their interest rates.
She makes learning really fun, and she gives us a lot of freedom.
Did y'all look at credit unions?
She lets us move around the classroom, work with partners, and, you know, make learning fun.
Whenever I told her that I was trying out for cheer, she said, "Oh, you're definitely going to make it because you're really good at cheer." And then after, I was much better.
She doesn't just teach lessons. She talks to us, sometimes not about learning, just like, you know, what's going on. You know, I appreciate that.
Do y'all have any questions? I know what it's like, and I feel like I can identify with those kind of kids. Those are the kids that need me, not the, you know, kids that have two parents at home. My first B didn't come until 8th grade.
Dr. Flynn knows what her kids need because she needed it herself.
You know, looking back, I see it completely different than the way I lived it.
She grew up in a single-parent home with her mom and sister, and while she got good grades and was a good athlete,
And in 4 years of high school, I missed 91 days.
she also got into trouble.
I was just going to run away from home. But in 9th grade, I continued to have issues. I just left school in the middle of 4th period one day and was gone for 3 days. I know what it's like. Mom didn't have money for us to get ice cream. Now my kids can't pay for their field trips and stuff. I understand that. I'm gonna pay for their field trips. Yeah, that whole semester is all 69s. Without my life being what it was, there's no way I could understand what these kids are going through and the needs that they have. I guess, you know, when I think about teaching, when I think about the reason I'm so passionate about the kids I have, it doesn't really, it didn't really sink in until I looked at this and saw somebody just completely missed this. I mean, it could have turned out a whole lot worse.
Dr. Flynn uses her personal history to help shape the future of her students. Not all of them need to hear her story. For the ones who do, it can have a big impact.
At the beginning of the year, I had one very troubled little girl, and one day I just said, let's go outside, and we pulled 2 chairs. I had another teacher's aide come and sit with my kids, and I sat there and I cried with her, telling her my story. That kid, you know, turned it around. I'd pretty much at that point just decided to take the easy way out. I don't need to tell all my kids that I ran away. I don't want them thinking that's an okay thing to do, but I told her, and I felt like that was the appropriate time and the appropriate child to share it with, and it made a difference. Okay, and I can help y'all with that part?
It's the kind of difference only a teacher can make, not an accountant. Ted Madden for the Mesquite ISD.